Hello, friends. Are you all scared of verbs and their different types and need a better command of it? Then this video will help you clear all your doubts related to verbs. This is part 9 in the series of learning parts of speech. Here we will be decoding verbs in detail. The video is a bit long, but I promise you, if you stick till the end, you will learn a lot. In today's video, first we will learn what exactly is verb. Then we will look into different types of verbs with the help of examples. Finally, I will give you a quick summary as well. So grab a pen or pencil and a book and let's get started. What is a verb? A verb is a word used to describe an action or state of the subject. Many verbs give the idea of action, of doing something. For example, words like run and swim. While some verbs do not give the idea of action, they give the idea of existence, of state, of being. For example, am, is, feel. Based on their usages, verbs are mainly divided into four types. Number 1, action verb and stative verb. Number 2, main verb and auxiliary verb. Number 3, transitive verb and intransitive verb. And number 4, finite verbs and non-finite verbs. We will be learning each of them in detail now. At the end of each type, I will be giving you the exercise to validate your learning. So let's begin with the first type. Number 1, action verb versus stative verb. One of the ways verbs are classified in any sentence is that is the verb showing any action or state of the subject. The verb may show an action of any subject or it may show the state of any subject. Based on that, it may be categorized. Let's learn the two types now. Number 1, action verbs. What are action verbs? The verbs which give the idea of action, of doing something, are called action verbs. Let's look into some examples of them. The sun rises in the east. Here, what action does sun perform? It is of rising. So, rises is an action verb. He plays cricket. Here, what action does he perform? It is of playing. So, plays is an action verb. She runs very fast. Here, what action does she perform? It is of running. So, runs is an action verb. So, these were the examples of action verb. Now, let's learn about stative verbs. What are stative verbs? The verbs that express a state of the subject are called stative verbs. Stative verbs do not refer to a physical action. They express a state or condition of the subject. Let's look into some of the examples of them. I am happy today. Here, the verb am represents my current state. So, it's a stative verb. They are excellent players. Here, the verb are represents the current state of players. So, it's a stative verb. He loved his sister dearly. Here, the verb loved represents the state of him for his sister. So, it's a stative verb. So, this was all about stative verbs. I hope now you will be able to understand what are action verb and stative verb. Let me give you an exercise here. Here, you need to identify the action verb and stative verbs in these sentences. He is a boy. Ankita went to market. She danced very well. Pause the video and write the answers in the comment. I will share the answers in a while. The answers are on your screen now. Is stative verb. Went action verb. Danced action verb. Now let's look into the next type. Number 2, main verb versus auxiliary verb. The other way verbs are classified in any sentence is that is the verb used in the sentence independent or dependent. The verb may stand alone or not stand alone in the sentence. Based on that, it may be categorized. Let's learn the two types now. Number 1, main verb. What is the main verb? The main verb shows the action or activity of the subject, and it can be standalone, which means it doesn't require any other verb for its existence. Some of the examples of it could be read, sleep, eat, run. Let's look into some of the sentence examples. She reads books. Here, the word reads shows action and is used standalone. So, reads is the main verb here. The car stops here. Here, the word stops shows action and is used standalone. So, stops is the main verb here. She runs slowly. Here, the word runs shows action and is used standalone. So, runs is the main verb here. I hope now you are clear on main verbs. Now, let's look into auxiliary verbs. What is an auxiliary verb? It adds meaning to the main verb. It can't be used standalone. It means that you can only use these words with the help of main verbs. Its independent existence doesn't exist. Some of the examples of it could be is, am, are, may, might. Let's look into some of the sentence examples of it. He is. Here you will ask, he is what? So the sentence is incomplete, right? But if I say he is reading, then the sentence becomes complete. Here the helping verb is complementing the main verb reading. So is a auxiliary verb here. Let's look into some more examples like this. The bus may stop. Here the auxiliary verb may is complementing the main verb stop. Sita will come. Here the helping verb will is complementing the main verb come. I hope now you will be able to identify the difference between main verb and auxiliary or helping verb. Let me give you an exercise. Here you need to identify the main verb and helping or auxiliary verb in these sentences. He is walking. They might come. Ajay dances gracefully or Ajay will dance. Pause the video and write the answers. I will share the answers in a while. The answers are on your screen now. Is helping verb, walking main verb, might helping verb, come main verb, will helping verb, dance main verb. I hope you would have given the correct answers. Now let's look into the next type of verb. Number 3, transitive verb versus intransitive verb. One of the ways verbs are classified in any sentence is that if an object is required when the verb needs to be used in the sentence, the verb may or may not require an object to convey the meaning. Based on that, it may be categorized. Let's learn the two types now. Number 1, transitive verbs. What are transitive verbs? Action that has a direct object to receive that action is called transitive verbs. Let's look into examples. He kicked the ball. Here, what action does the boy performs? It is of kicking. And he kicked what? He kicked the ball. So the ball is the direct object receiving the action. So the verb kicked is a transitive verb. She crossed the finish line. Here, what action did she perform? It is of crossing. And she crossed what? She crossed the finish line. So the finish line is the direct object receiving the action. So the verb crossed is a transitive verb here. She gave a lecture. Here, what action did she perform? It is of giving. And she gave what? She gave a lecture. So the lecture is the direct object receiving the action. So the verb gave is a transitive verb. Now let's learn what are intransitive verbs. Actions that has no direct object to receive that action is called intransitive verb. Let's look into examples to understand them. The fire burned all night. Here, what action did the fire perform? It is of burning. But where was the fire burning? Is there any object that you could find here? No, right? So the verb burned is a intransitive verb. Let's look into next examples. Snow fell yesterday. Here, what action did the snow perform? It is of falling. But where was the snow falling? Is there any object that you could find here? No, right? So the verb fell is an intransitive. He arrived early this morning. Here, what action did he perform? It is of arriving. But where did he arrive? Here also, there is no direct object mentioned. So the verb arrived is an intransitive verb. So finally, we have understood what is the difference between transitive verb and intransitive verb with the help of examples. Now, let me give you an exercise. Here, you need to identify the transitive verb and intransitive verb in these sentences. My dog ate carrot. Ankita went to market. My daughter is growing quickly. Pause the video and write the answers in the comment. I will share the answers in a while. The answers are on your screen now. Ate, transitive. Went, transitive. Growing, intransitive. Now, let's look into the last type of verbs. Number 4, finite verb versus non-finite verb. One of the ways verbs are classified in any sentence is that does the verb change as per the subject? The verb may or may not change as per the subject in the sentence. Based on that, it may be categorized. Let's learn the two types now. Number 1, finite verbs. What are finite verbs? The verb that changes as per the subject is called the finite verb. It means it changes as per the tense, person, and number of subjects. Because of this limit, it is called the finite verb. Let's understand it with the help of examples. He kicks the ball. Here, the sentence is in present tense. He kicked the ball. Here, the sentence is in past tense. Notice how the verb kick changes to kicks and kicked from present to past tense respectively. So, kick is a finite verb. Let's look into some more examples. I play cricket every day. Here, first person is used. He plays cricket every day. Here, third person is used. Notice how the verb play changes to played from first person to third person respectively. So play is a finite verb here. Let's look into next example. An apple is red. Here singular subject apple is used. The apples are red. Here plural subject apples is used. Notice how the verb to be changes to is from singular to are in plural respectively. So be is a finite verb here. Now let's learn what are non-finite verbs. The verb that does not change as per the subject in the sentence are called non-finite verbs. It means it doesn't change as per the tense, person and number of subject. And so it is called a non-finite verb. These verbs functions as noun, adjective and adverb in the sentence. Let's look into examples to understand them. The sleeping dog is brown. Here the sentence is in present tense. The sleeping dog was brown. Here the sentence is in past tense. Notice how the verb sleeping doesn't change in both the sentence. Also, the verb sleeping is behaving as an adjective in the sentence. So, sleeping is a non-finite verb here. Swimming makes him happy. Here, the sentence is in present tense. Swimming made him happy. Here, the sentence is in past tense. Notice how the verb swimming doesn't change in both the sentence. It is behaving as a noun in the sentence. So, swimming is a non-finite verb. He went to the USA to study. He will go to the USA to study. Here, the verb to study is not changing, though the main verb went and go have changed in the sentence respectively. Here, the verb to study behaves as an adverb in the sentence. So basically, in all of these examples, we have understood that non-finite verbs could behave like adjective, nouns, and adverbs. Based on this usage, they are further divided into three types: gerund, infinitive, and participles. I have already created the video on that. Please check the link in the description after this video to get that concept. Now, I hope you would have understood what are finite verbs and non-finite verbs. Now, let me give you an exercise. Here, you need to identify the verb and whether it is finite or non-finite in these sentences. Running is a good habit. Ankita went to market to buy groceries. Pause the video and write the answers in the comment. I will share the answers in a while. The answers are on your screen now. Running non-finite, is finite, went finite, to buy non-finite. I hope you would have given the correct answers. So we have learned the four types of verbs now. Let's quickly revise what we learned in this lesson. We understood the four classification of verbs. Number 1, action verb versus stative verb. Does the verb show an action or state? Number 2, main versus auxiliary. Does the verb act as the main verb or helping verb? Number 3, transitive versus intransitive. Does the verb require an object or not? And number 4, finite versus non-finite. Does the verb change as per the subject? I hope based on these questions, you will be able to identify the different types of verbs. That's all in this video. Thanks a lot for watching. Like, share, comment and subscribe in case you found the video helpful. If you want any grammar lessons, please message in the comment box. We will meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye.